Hey y'all, it's me. I know it's a little bit late, but in true Nikki fashion, I just have to be different, I guess. Even though I have stuff to do tomorrow. I have Caleb's All-Star practice to go to, but it's more of him working on it than me. I have to people. And, I mean, do it for the kids, right? And thankfully I do have some help because these All-Star practices are everywhere. But the kid worked his butt off and he got picked. I'm very proud of him for that. So I'm going to do whatever it takes for him to enjoy this experience, whether he be tired or not, because he's going to be tired. But that's just me. So I posted just recently. Well, I recorded Friday, but I didn't post it. And I was kind of on the fence to post it. Not because there was anything that was going to trigger anybody. More like I ramble a lot. I know I do. But this was more... It was really just rambling. I was in a bad mood over a few things. And it was just rambling. I wasn't bitching about anything. I wasn't causing... I wasn't speaking ill of anybody. I was in a bad mood, and I was rambling, and I don't think I didn't realize, I didn't know where it was going. I did post it, though, because, we don't waste content, I guess. I got that from one of the people I follow on YouTube, Brandon Ferris. Something like, I don't waste content, or we don't waste, something like that. So, I mean, if y'all can't see me at my realist, then why am I even doing this? Therapeutic or not, I don't. And if any of these videos, people stumble upon it, because I do post it to my Facebook, not my Facebook, I post it to my YouTube, and then I share it to my Facebook. So if people sit there and they get on my page and they watch it or they see it, and it can help them, it could make them smile, it could be like, well, I can relate, like, dang, I'm not the only person, then I'm happy, because I've always wanted to not feel alone, and I've felt alone a majority of my life. Not simply because, of any one thing in particular, but, and I beat it like a dead horse, and I need to, I don't know, maybe I should make up some funny words for mental illness, I don't know, but with mental illness, your mind can trick you into thinking you're alone when you're not. You can feel alone in a room full of 100 people. And depending what it is, your mind can sit there and it can play tricks on you. And you have to kind of decipher what it, if it's real or not. Now, I've met a lot of people, and I've met some good people in my life that I haven't talked to, or simply that I've done wrong, and I regret that, because I've made mistakes, and some of those people, they have every right not to talk to me, and I give them that space. I've tried to reach out, and it's just not for them, and that's them, that's their choice. I messed up. They can figure out how to do whatever they want. They don't mean their life because I messed up. That's fine. But there's only so much I can do, honestly. Now, your brain can trick you into thinking that you're alone. And I haven't been one to have a lot of friends, but I've always had a few. Well, not until maybe high school did I actually have maybe a few friends that I was able to count on, ish. It's high school. Everybody is a scumbag in high school. Everybody has an ulterior motive. Everybody is a teenager in high school. So I mean, those teenage ideologies, they run rampant. They really do. And I was a victim of that, probably as well as everybody else was. I had, and I said before, I'd had a very small group of friends that I didn't believe I should be in the first place. Because my friends were decent looking people. Okay? They weren't like drop dead gorgeous, but they were decent looking people. And I wasn't. I was 16, 17 years old. I was already in a size 20, 22 size pants, wearing 2X shirts, and I just didn't fit in. I didn't, no matter where I went. And I loved choir and I loved to sing, but I didn't fit in. I really didn't. And it wasn't from lack of trying, because I did try. You know, I tried diets to make myself skinnier. I didn't eat during the day. I only ate once a day. And I came to real, I just like food too damn much. And I do, and I know that it's bad for you to eat only once a day. And because it just doesn't, you're not getting the nutrients in your body, and that could harm you more than help you. And people have gained a lot more weight doing that. So I understand now, but I didn't understand then. But I tried to fit in. I really did. And I'm not saying all of my memories with them were bad, because they weren't. I had a few good memories that I like to think back on often and just smile. But I mean, it was high school, and I was very lucky to have some of the people that I did associate with in high school to be my friends still. We continued our friendship throughout, present day. And a lot of them, they just went and did their own thing, and that's fine. I mean, everybody does their own thing. I mean, you had the football player and the pretty girl. Pretty girl got knocked up when she was 15. They went off and got married in freaking Hawaii, and now they have some beautiful kiddos, and they moved away. And from what I see on Facebook, which I don't really keep in touch as much as I should, they're having a decent life, and that's fine. And I'm happy for them. I really am, because they deserve to be happy. And one of the girls that I used to be friends with in high school, and I used to spend a lot of time with, I'm still close with her, and she's still one of my best friends. And I love that I've known her. I thought she was a bitch when I first met her, but I mean, so am I. I was the same way. I mean, she's stuck with me a majority through thick and thin, and it's not easy to put up with me, and I know that. So it's just nice to know that people, they stick around, and you're not alone. Now, I know a little background story about the whole alone feeling. Now, when I grew up, my timeline is off. So anybody who is watching this that is in my family, please, please, do not hold me accountable for anything that I say. This is a timeline through my head. Obviously, I am sorely mistaken sometimes. But for a while, it was just me and my mother. She raised me as a single mom with the help of my family, her side of the family. And when I was young-ish, she met my future father, my stepdad. And when they got married, I gained a whole new family, because I gained his family into it. And for the most part, they accepted me. I was a little weird, I think. And my cousins and I, we didn't really get off to a good start. I know. I mean, boys will be boys. And for the two cousins at first, that's exactly what they were. But, we didn't really have any issues per se. It was just, they didn't really want to hang out, and that's fine. I was the weird outsider. not a big deal. Then there was my cousin Natalie. And I'll say a few names here and there sprinkled through there because some people might watch a video. So I remember Natalie as being one of my closest and one of my best friends when I was very, very young. But when you're young and you're best friends, you still hurt each other. It just happens. And, that we were no exception. I'd call her uptight or prissy because she was. And she'd say that I was weird and I did stupid things and I was dumb, or I forget exactly the insult. I know she called me fat a few times because she used to be like a toothpick. And I've always been big. Always been big. There's never been a point in my life that I think I've ever been not big. So, I mean, it happened and we kind of leveled a little bit. We leveled it out and we went to the same schools and we had a few friends in common, but we really didn't have the same friends, so we weren't really in the same cliques. One of my cousins was a football player. Not both of my cousins were football players. So, I mean, I did a short stint of medical training for the football team in high school, so I got to see them once in a while, but I mean, we were never really close. And now they both are married and they both have amazing lives. And again, super happy for them. I am ecstatic because I want all of my family to be happy, no matter what. But as it were, I have a lot of cousins, and some of them I'm not so close to. Natalie has 3 sisters. She has Laura, who's the oldest. She has, and then she has 2 of her younger ones. I'm not really close to the younger ones only because, I don't know, I guess the age difference. They were born when I was a teenager, I think, maybe. I don't remember when. But, not saying they're not. I mean, I follow some of them on Facebook. One, she's living her best self. She's who she wants to be, and I am very proud of her for that. And she tries to be happy, and if that, I don't know a lot about it, so I don't speak on it very, very much, but if that makes her happy, then I hope she knows at least she has her support, my support for her. That's just me. And then I believe she's the youngest one of them. She does a lot of church functions. She seems to be very devout in her relationship with God, and again, that's on her. She's that makes her happy, and that's what she wants to do. She's every right to do that, and she seems to be happy about it. So, who am I to judge, right? And then there's Laura, and Laura and I we kind of clicked later on. Even though I remember she really did take the time when I was younger, when like Natalie and I would have our tiffs, to see if I was okay, to make sure I was okay, to kind of mediate between Natalie and myself, because we argued a lot, and it was over childish shit, but we argued a lot, and Laura always mediated. So, I mean, that was one of my memories of her. Other than that, it was always she was like me. She was always in the background, and that things like that happen, and it sucks sometimes, but things like that happen, and inevitably it makes you who you are. So, I learned not from any coaxing of my family, because it wasn't like they're like, put baby in the corner kind of thing. It was never like that. It was just very hectic and very... We had to sort out a lot of stuff very, very quickly. I mean, it was a new marriage. I gained an older sister, Mandy, from my dad. And then shortly after they were married, my mom and dad had Brandy, my little sister, my little sis. So it got really hectic for a while, and you know, things happen, and oversights get overlooked, and things like that. But like, we're only. I will reiterate till the day I die. We're only human. There's only so much we can do. We're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. But I mean, when I first met Mandy, I was annoying. I know I was, 'cause I wanted to be just like her. Mind you, I've told you before and time again, I've never been the skinny one, ever. So I wanted to be just like Mandy, who was at the time like a size 4 or 5, maybe. I I know she was skinny, and she's very very pretty. So I wanted to be just like her, but my body type wasn't having that shit. No matter what, it was never going to be just like her. I don't think I could. I've had doctors tell me that I will never be less than a size 20. I don't know if that's true. I really haven't. That kind of put a bad taste in my mouth with doctors in general because, you know, it's kind of messed up to say to a patient, honestly, because I asked what I could do. Like, was there any, not really special diets, but is there anything personally that I could do that I could change? Shit. If I knew that eating spinach, because I used to love spinach, like if I was to eat spinach, broccoli, or whatever every day for the next like 10 weeks, I'd drop a pound a day. I'd do it, and I would do it happily. But I went in there and I asked him, his opinion after he marked me as I was morbidly obese. And I'm like, well, what can I do? And he's like, well, you're kind of at the age now, which I was fairly young. I think I just found out I was pregnant. I think it was. So that was when I was 24. So I mean, I was fairly young, and I say fairly young, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. And he's like, you'll never be below a size 20, if that. That's kind of disheartening. And I mean, I've wanted to be skinny my whole life. Now, I don't think, whatever y'all believe in, whether you believe in God, Allah, Cthulhu, I don't know what y'all believe in, but whoever you believe in, just know that they have some kind of plan for you. And I do believe if I was skinny, that my life, if I was skinny from the get, okay, that my life might have taken a very, very drastic turn. Because I don't know, I think I've been a hoe. I think I would have been a hoe. I mean, not saying, I mean, tasteful, provocative clothing, provocative clothing is fine. But, like, in a way, it's okay that I'm this way, because I think about how I dress and how I look a little too much sometimes, and sometimes I don't even get, like, I won't go somewhere because a lot of my clothes don't fit. I've had the same recycled clothes that I've been wearing since I was married. And it just because, and it's not even self, everybody's like, oh, self-care, self-care, self-care. And, okay, so self-care is buying yourself new clothes and kind of saying screw your children, then I don't want to do that. Because a lot of the time, that's what happens. I'll sit there and I'll have in my mind that, okay, well, I'm going to get myself a new outfit. Something, you know how new outfits are. You get yourself a new outfit, you want to wear it, you look good in it, you feel good in it, and that's just how it is, and you associate that with it. But most of the time, my kids, they need something too. They don't have the best clothes that they're wearing. They've got holes in their stuff too. I'll take care of them before I take care of myself. I mean, that's simple. But back to my family. So I had a sister. I gained a sister, and then I gained another sister very, close together. And I went from being a single child to a middle child. And that is quite a pickle to be in. Because you do, like, I don't mean any disrespect for any family that are watching me, because, I mean, y'all did the best you could. Especially with, whatever given. And I'm not saying my family doesn't help me out, because some of my family does. And some of them I'm not close with. They'll probably never even see this. They won't even care to look at this. It's fine. But being, as a middle child, it's called middle child syndrome. You get not forgotten about, but definitely you kind of get a pushed to the side a little bit, I think it was. And yeah, you kind of have to deal with it. You make a big stink about it, you're selfish. And you don't want to be selfish. It's not how you're supposed to be, honestly. And and I craved having that relationship with my sisters, but I hated my little sister for the longest time. Hated her. And I don't know if I hated her for the attention she was getting or what, but I just didn't like her. And after a while, you're kind of a nuisance to somebody else. You kind of realize, okay, so they don't like me either. I get it. But my sisters, they were very close together. They became very close since Brandy was born. And I kind of envied that, because I wanted to be that way with my older sister, but I was never like that. It's better now, and that's good. Because as people grow up, ideals change, and things things get forgotten or forgiven, and it is what it is. But I felt I was very close for a very, very long time with a few of my cousins that I would talk to. And it just seemed that some of them just didn't get me. Now, whether that mean, and, people will sit there and think, well, maybe it's because, your brains are kind of wired the same way. Maybe because you both have mental illnesses, it's easier to relate. It is. It's easier to relate to people who are just like you. And because you can understand, you can sympathize, you can empathize with them about what they're going through, and vice versa. And you don't feel judged about it. You don't feel judged. You don't get a generic answer when you're having a bad day. Well, tomorrow will be better. Just wake up and be happy. Because, it doesn't always work out that way. And it's not that easy. It really isn't. So I found myself drawn to, hanging out or talking to Laura, because she understood. And that was something that was nice. Even though she was the oldest and I was the middle. But it seemed like she understood, how I was feeling. And it was just a very nice and accepting thing to have. It was a no judgment zone. I could come to her and be like, I feel angry at the situation, and she's like, well, you have a right to be that way, and I understand, and there was really no judgment about it, and I liked that. I really did. And I've made my mistakes with a lot of things, but I don't regret becoming friends with her. because she's really helped me out in many, many ways. Many ways. And right now she's having a rough go at it, and I wish I could do more. Like, what's this thing? Money is the root of all evil. I think, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. If that's a Bible saying or what have you. But it seems that, if I could just, win some money, and I would take care of everybody. I really wish I could, and I'm not really in the position to help anybody, but just to be a shoulder to cry on, a ear to, to talk to. But I mean, if that's all I got, that's all, I'll give it. It just is what it is. And I mean, like I said, she's having a rough go at it it seems to be with a lot of things. And I guarantee it feels really, really overwhelming for her, because it would be really overwhelming for me as well. And she's been there when I've felt really overwhelmed as well. If I could put any kind of message out there, not necessarily just be kind, but be kind with the intent of doing it for nothing other than to provide some solace for somebody. Because so many people, they're kind to you and they're like, well, I said I was sorry, or I don't know what else you want. When people, I say like us, like me, come to you and we're not necessarily unloading. If I'm unloading on you, it means I trust you enough that you're not going to judge me and to shun me, I guess. So, so it does involve a really high level of trust. So when I come to you and I'm unloading my burdens just to talk them out, and all you can tell me is, well, look at the way you are. Look what's happening. That's a really quick way for me not to ever want to talk to you again. And for two, if I wanted to be judged, I can look in the damn mirror, because I judge myself a lot. Just, be kind with the intent of just being kind. I'm not coming to you for a handout. I'm not coming to you for a miracle pill to take and my life will be all better. I'm coming to you, just because I need to talk to somebody. And talking to myself isn't working so much. But I mean, just be kind. Be kind to one another. If that's so damn hard, then don't talk. Just don't talk. Just shut your mouth. Honestly. And then when it comes to, and that's for everybody. I don't care if kids need to hear it, adults need to hear it, significant others need to hear it. If you can't be sympathetic and nice to somebody who's coming to you and just want to work it out, and I mean, just maybe look in within yourself, and figure out the way. I looked in myself to figure out the way I am, or why I am the way I am. Maybe y'all, maybe someone else should do that too. Sometimes self-reflection is the best thing to do sometimes, and I've done a lot of that. I'm not perfect. I don't try to be perfect because no one else is going to ever be perfect. But I do sympathize, and I'm always here for people who want to talk. So if you see this and you're new, you can always like and subscribe to my page and reach out to me, and most likely I'll respond, and I'll talk to you through this. Just know I'm going to love you through it, okay? Love y'all. Bye.